A new challenger has appeared. Will this card be Dynamite or just another dud?
Whether you're a beginner or an experienced player, I have decks for you with Cosmic Ghost Rider. But first we have to get to the review of The Fallen One. I am a big fan of The Fallen One. I don't care what you've heard from people who are obviously wrong, but The Fallen One is fantastic and right up my alley and this channel's alley with off-meta decks, so I hope people sleep on them because I have a deck for you all tomorrow, or it's already out if you don't watch my videos when they release. How dare you?
I never watch your videos.
So the Fallen One can just absolutely pop off on the last turn, where you have a guaranteed minimum of 11 energy, which is more than enough to do completely unexpected things. And my deck has some tech in it. It has, I mean, what deck of mine doesn't? And it has power, like just power. And people have no clue what you are going to do with that power. And because my decks are weird anyway, I can't wait for this video to come out because I am a big fan. I like these combo decks, the decks that can surprise you on the last turn. And so that's enough fawning over the Fallen One. I think he's worth having in your collection, especially going forward. People will create the Fallen One decks that you have to have the Fallen One to play with, as my deck in his specific deck video will be. There is no replacing the Fallen One, and I am just very happy with this card. It will be a card that I use plenty of, I see, and just wait for that video. But until then, let's get to Cosmic Ghost Rider. And Second Dinner is continuing the month of hate cards. First we got Stardust, now we get Cosmic Ghost Rider. What he really reminds me of is Eliath. Now, the original version of Eliath, if for the people that played back then, or the people that didn't play back then, what the original version did was destroy all cards, revealed or unrevealed. It blew them to smithereens, and which was just OP, as you can imagine. And then they, of course, switched Eliath to delete text from unrevealed cards. This, of course, deletes text from front row cards, which has applications no matter what deck you are playing against. So I view this as a very powerful tech card at the 5 cost slot, which is typically one of the weaker costed slots in Marvel Snap. But this thing can absolutely flip games by just nuking whatever your opponent wants to do in a specific lane, and then you can just win in a different lane. This lends itself to lockdown strategies. That way you can better target what lanes to win, and if you want to, and where to play this card at, and where to play your other cards, get your power. So that's really my initial thoughts on this card pre-release, but let's get to the decks. So the Series 1 version is, or Series 1 and 2 that is, of course, leans into lockdown heavily. The goal is to win one of these lockdown lanes, either with Storm, Sunspot, or Storm and Jessica Jones, or maybe a Professor X on top of a Sunspot and Medusa lane. We have Groot and Rocket Raccoon to follow up a Storm, as well as a secondary option to Jessica Jones, or as a primary option. Claw to get more power into a closed off lane. Cosmic Ghost Rider to shut down an opponent's lane. And this is just as mean of a deck as you can have in Series 2. And that will probably be the trend as we continue into Series 3. But no, let's break that trend, kind of. So, of course, we have Shang-Chi, my boy. And we are shutting down a lane with Cosmic Ghost Rider Lockjaw, we can ideally cycle into one of our bigger power cards if they're staying hidden in our deck. There's Leader to copy on the last turn any power that your opponent wants to put down. Giganto and Infinite are really used to cycle in. You're probably not going to play Infinite out otherwise in this deck, but also maybe you do because you've locked down a lane with Goose and Sunspot to grow, and Infinite just wins in another lane. Medusa is just decent power, and that's more or less how the deck will work. Wasp is here to cycle out for Lockjaw. And now let's get to the Series 4 and 5 version, which gets back to the being mean type of game plan. The plan here is to gain priority for a last turn Goliath, but also on the last turn, maybe we just Shang-Chi and Fenris Wolf. Gladiator is another, has synergy as well with Fenris Wolf. Juggernaut on the last turn is just annoying. There's also Cosmo, and then we just have some good power with Black Cat, Hydra Bob, and Rocket Raccoon, who Rocket Raccoon you primarily want to save for the last turn to maybe pair with a Shang-Chi or a Juggernaut or something like that. Cosmic Ghost Rider, of course, to delete what your opponent wants to do. And that is the Series 4 and 5 version. Hey, Nerd Dynamite, are you going to get this card for real? I am. Of course I'm getting this card. Well, not of course. Maybe it was a little bit of a mystery. But I am a fan of these cards, even though they're hate cards. I'm a fan of Goliath. I am a fan of Cosmic Ghost Rider. And I view this as a very powerful tech card. The reason being is it counters every single deck that you're going to face. Every single is probably an exaggeration. It's not going to be 100% of the decks you face. It's going to be a large percentage of the decks you face have important enough cards in that front row. And if they just get nuked, it absolutely blows up their game plan. So I want this card in my collection. I want it at my disposal. I am unsure if there will be an actual dedicated video from me, but maybe I do turn one of these theory crafted decks into a dedicated video. They seem, at least at first blush, to be a good decks, if I do say so myself.
Please stop.
Overall, I think this card will be good and will be worth having in your collection. And so that is why I will be getting them. So thank you to all the members of the channel, and thank you to everybody that watches the full length of my videos, and for you all, bonus game time. Okay, now we have flowers. Let's end my turn. I'm just in a proving grounds because most of these decks, they need some work. And this is no exception. The biggest problem with this deck is drawing. So as you can see, I am drawing the wrong cards. Let's just go Lady Sif. Do I go Big House? Sure. Sure. No. Let's go over here. And this would be my Ghost Rider lane. This is my Iron Man lane. I also suspect that they are putting more bots in Conquest mode. I'm getting that sneaking suspicion. Can play Cosmo here. Perfect. Good timing. Very good timing. And then, I mean, I guess I have to play Black. Even Black Bolt there doesn't win. Oh, Stature. Okay. So let's go Iron Man. And then hope we draw into the man of the hour.
I am Iron Man.
May I please draw the man of the hour? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Now, I don't know if this was a real player or not, but we'll hit him with the emote anyway. And yeah, that is how this deck works. Just draw Ghost Rider on the last turn, and you will always win. And why is this Cosmic Ghost Rider? You don't see that background? Thank you.